So if you're looking to take your team's performance to even greater levels, then watch on for my 3 psychology-based tips that will help you. So this is the 4th and final video in a series I've created about team performance, so keep on watching to get access to those tips. The best practical, common sense management and leadership advice, all underpinned by psychology research. Subscribe to my channel and hit the bell to be notified when I publish a new video every Friday. If you watched last week's video, which was the 3rd in the series of 4 that I created on team performance, you'll already have started to make tweaks to the ways of working in your team. So last week, as I say, we looked at ways of working, how people work together, including if you have a mix of permanent staff and temporary staff. This week we're going to look at trust and well-being, and the 3 research-based tips I share in this video have worked for the countless managers and leaders I've worked with over the last 20 years, and now it's your turn to benefit. Tip 1 is focus on quality rather than quantity when it comes to communicating. After analysing around 150 studies of nearly 10,000 teams, Shannon L. Marlowe and her colleagues, they found that communication had significant impacts on team performance. And in particular, they found that quality had a far bigger positive impact than quantity. And yet how many managers kind of think that by putting out lots of emails, lots of written communication, talking to people lots is the way to go? Well, this research kind of turns that on its head. And what the researchers found is that quality in particular had a big positive impact where people also really knew and trusted each other. They tended to have better communication with each other, so it wasn't just with the team leader, and subsequently better performance. So you can test the quality of your communication by checking people's understanding and testing the amount of your messages that your team members remember. Tip 2 is work with your team to develop trusting behaviours. So in a review of 125 studies, a team of researchers led by a woman called Anna Maria Costa found trust is fed at 3 different levels. So there's the kind of the individual level, the team level and the organisational level. And when they looked at team level, they found the following things helped kind of create trust. They found it was about good relationships with each other, but also with the team leader. They found the kind of tasks people were working on helped create trust. So if the predominance was tasks where people really needed to work together in order to succeed, that helped build trust. And an environment where people were able to be open and honest with each other. They weren't kind of afraid of kind of having honest discussions, but they did that in a respectful way. Again, all helped to facilitate trust. And unsurprisingly, the researchers found that where there were high levels of trust, it tended to lead to much better levels of performance and higher job satisfaction. So this means taking the time to co-create ground rules with your team and kind of a set of values for what it means to kind of operating principles, if you like, for what it means to work in that team, that acts as a bit of a compass and a framework that can help everyone work well together. So yeah, co-creating that rather than you going off and determining what that looks like and then telling people. That's not the way to go. Co-creating with your team is definitely the way to go. So before we get to the 3rd tip, I'd love to know in the comments box below what kind of things you do to help improve your team's trust levels and well-being. Tip 3 is take your lunch breaks. So I'm going to tell you why this is important for team trust and wellbeing. So in 2018, a German study found that the extent to which people felt recovered after their lunch break had a really positive impact on their ability to kind of do their work and complete tasks in the afternoon. But not only did lunch breaks help people feel much more energised, it also helped increase engagement levels in the afternoon. So people were much more likely to engage with each other and engage with the leader in the afternoon if they'd taken their lunch break. And something that helped increase the positive impact of lunch breaks was actually getting some physical distance from work. In other words, stepping away from your desk. And the other thing was having some form of social connection. So that didn't mean you had to kind of go out in a big group, but even just kind of connecting with one other person had a positive impact and actually made the impact of lunch even bigger and better. So taking your lunch break away from your desk and also role modelling to your team the importance of breaks is one of the best things you can do to kind of help facilitate well-being. And in another study in 2018, this time by Binghamton University in the States, they looked at employee performance that resulted from 3 different leadership styles. And the main takeaway for managers like you was to put just as much or even more of an emphasis on the well-being of their teams as they do on hitting targets and goals. So those leaders that kind of got that balance right, that focused on the task and kind of achieving success, but also made sure to balance that with kind of a more nurturing style focused on well-being, taking your lunch breaks, etc., tended to do much better. So by focusing on your team's well-being, you're going to be well on your way to improving team performance. So now you know my latest 3 tips on building trust and well-being in your team. But is there anything else you can do to kind of keep going? Well, don't worry. I've created a free ebook all about building a high-performing team. It's science-based, so I share with you what research tells us about team performance, and more importantly, I share with you some of the practical activities that I use with many of my clients looking to build high-performing teams. So you can download the book by clicking on the link in the description box below this video. And if you want to get regular psychology-based, common sense, practical tools and tips, I actually have a monthly newsletter where I share really useful advice to help managers like you thrive and shine. And if you like this video, please let me know by liking it below. Please give it a big old thumbs up. It means that it gets shared by YouTube much more widely. And why not subscribe and also share with your fellow managers. And if you found this video helped you, please comment in the box below and also share some of your own hints and tips for other managers to benefit from. That's it from me, and I will see you next Friday when I publish my new video. Bye.